Good morning. Good morning. I hope you're safe and well because that is the most important thing. Right. At the moment, it is a bit cooler today and it's raining and horrible, but we've had a spell of glorious weather for the past 2 or 3 days, and I hope you've managed to make the most of it. Okay, on with the news. What have we got for you? Right. The first thing is the lead restriction on ammunition has just been published in the UK, and I will pop this below the video just now. Restriction in ammunition. Sorry, trying to type and talk at the same. And I'm just going to pop that there for you. Now, this is actually, at least in our house, because we are a shooting household, very controversial for a number of reasons. The first thing is, if you think about historically why we have lead shot and lead bullets, there must be some very good reason behind it. Because if iron or steel were usable and were practical, they're a lot cheaper, they're a lot more widely available, more people can work with them. So why historically do we have lead shot? And the answer is because it's more efficient at killing meat for the table, or indeed human beings, quickly and transferring the energy in a good way and not damaging them. So I feel like from the cook's perspective, we're going to have a lot more broken teeth. Now, I know that in terms of steel shot, the supermarkets love it because they can just run a big magnet and find the shot in things. We don't necessarily have that as people who shoot and eat our own food. So yeah, it's an interesting one, isn't it? Mike, my husband, pointed something out very, very interesting, which is if you've got what they call a shot tower, which is for shotguns, obviously, and it's literally you drop a ball of molten lead and it separates into small droplets as it falls. And then you sort it into different sizes at the bottom. It's that simple, the technology. It's a lot more sophisticated than that these days, but that's the basic principle. If you've got something that's making shot or making bullets, you are sort of fixed on that chemistry. It's actually really difficult to change to a different alloy or a different metal. So lead is still entirely usable for military purposes, and there are a few exemptions in the restriction under very limited circumstances for for elite athletes and for certain shooting grounds and stuff like that, and also for very small caliber bullets. But you can't just go excuse me, we were using lead and now we've gone to, one of the tungsten alloys that are ferociously expensive or whatever. You can't just switch back to lead if you need it for military purposes. And we're in really uncertain times. Is it sensible to remove a potential source of military ammunition from the UK supply chain? I think his best comment is, this has not been thought through. So it's going to be really interesting to see if this restriction actually holds and whether or not pragmatically it's just unworkable. And I should add, from the environmental perspective, that the concerns about lead in the environment started with fishing, with lead shot used for fishing. And that was mainly through ingestion by wildfowl, because of course in their gizzard, it chews it up and they die of lead poisoning. There is very little to no evidence that lead shot over wetland areas is the problem that caused it to be restricted. Never mind lead shot over land. Apart from the, again, very rare circumstances of shooting grounds. And then it does make sense to insist that they collect the lead shot and remove it from the ground. But yeah, it does seem very much like it's trying to disarm the civilian population in the EU, where this idea came from, and now GB. But I will get off my hobby horse. You're interested in chemistry, not in our private hobbies. Right, okay. So that's the Reach Amendment regulation coming in. Second thing that we have is the detergents regulation in the EU, which is a completely new thing. There's lots of very interesting things going on. I have been far too busy this week to be able to go into it. But like all of these things, it's going to take some time to get to grips with. It's completely repealing the detergents directive, I think it was, back in 2004. And I will just pop the link below this video there. Obviously, it's the main link, so you can find it in your own language, because I know not everybody is a native English speaker or necessarily in GB. So I hope that's useful for you. So, news out of the way, what have we got for reasons to be cheerful? And the answer is, this week we have Sean Locke, the late Sean Locke, and the 8 out of 10 Cats Dust Countdown. Yes. And it's the tiger who came for a pint. Now, if you are used to small children, anytime you've had them around you in the last 30 years, possibly slightly longer, you will be familiar with the story of the tiger who came to tea. And this is an adult version of it. It's absolutely hilarious, and I commend it to you. So that's it for me for today. I hope you have a lovely day. Stay safe. That's the most important thing. Thank you very much for watching live or on catch up. And I look forward to chatting to you again next week, if we're spared. Take great good care of yourselves. Bye.